welcome back to my second video. Wrong gear. I'm going to try and set myself a bit of a challenge. Well, I've set myself a challenge. I'm not even going to try to. I've set it. I've set myself a challenge of doing a video each day for the next 30 days. They'll be on various topics. Quite often they will have absolutely nothing to do with junk removal, much like the page. There's only so much you can talk about junk removal. I've got a lot to say on the matter. I understand the industry to a high degree. I'm quite willing to help out other companies to grow and to become better versions of themselves. But I want to focus more on sort of self-development, motivation, psychology to a degree, just general wellness. I tend to focus on that kind of stuff with the page anyway. So there's no real difference. I mean, there's only so many photos that you can look at of junk, isn't there? You know, so unattractive. Before and after photos. Here's some junk. That was cool. It's not really the way to do it, is it? So, a bit of motivation, a bit of self-help. I'm on a quest myself. Have been for a number of years to become a better version of myself, to find a more consistent route to happiness. In all honesty, I've suffered with anxiety a lot throughout my life. Mental health, you know, this day and age, it's hard to have a great mental health, and with the way that social media is, it portrays that everything's always great for everybody, and these people have these amazing lives where nothing goes wrong, and it's not the case, is it? You know, it's just not the case. Life is difficult at the best of times. Life's a bitch. Life is a bitch, and it doesn't tend to really get any easier. But we can be our own worst enemy, and I'd like to become a bit of a voice for realness. I think the page has become quite successful through me being me and my honesty and openness towards things and sharing my life, family, friends, what we get up to, the job, you know, rather than we do junk removal, we move this, we move that. You know, I want you to see me as a friend, and a lot of you do, and that to me is perfection. That's perfection. I've had a lot of people over the years reach out to me. When they've now, I'm going to pretense this with the fact that yes, we are officially celebrities with the number of followers we have. We get recognised out and about. I have really struggled with all of this. It's not, you know, I'm an introvert. I am introverted. I'm a quiet person, realistically, that can have a loud external voice, but you know, I am generally quite a reserved guy that can be quite shy. And I find it very, very strange to accept what a lot of people say about me and us and the company and success. I find success very hard to deal with, if I'm completely honest. Which sort of seems kind of madness that I have pushed and strive for it, but there we go. But yeah, I've had a lot of people, company owners, people in general, reach out for motivation, advice. They've given me all sorts of praise, and again, I find praise very, very hard to deal with, but I'm learning to get there with it. I am humble. You know, I'm not a big flashy guy that needs the best of everything. No aspirations to be a millionaire. Money doesn't drive me. It's nice to have a little bit, you know. Makes life a little easier. Not to worry. I've been there. I've been broke to the point where I've been homeless in the past. I've struggled to feed myself, and it's not a nice place to be, rock bottom. You know, there's only one way to go when you get there, and that's up. So this is what Junk Monkeys is. Junk Monkeys is me. Junk Monkeys has evolved from many facets. People have come and gone. At the end of the day, the reason it has become so popular is my work ethic, my empathy. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I feel for people. I've just had a previous client phone me up. A couple of years ago we did people's gardens, in the sense of we cleared them, we cut them back. We had a whole load of gardening equipment, trimmers, mowers, and you know, you name it, and overgrown gardens. We would come in and we would cut it right back to nothing, and shit, we were good at it. And I fell into it. I did a favour for somebody and did their garden for them, and having never done it before, shaped a hedge and, you know, all of that, and I did a really good job, and I put the pictures up on the page, and boom, I was getting like inquiries left, right and centre. So I gave it a bit of a go for a season, and we did really good work. And this chap's phoned me up, and I did his father's garden during that time, and he was really impressed with the outcome and how well I did it. And he wanted to know if we could do another garden for him, and I had to let him down, and I had to say, look, we don't do it anymore. It was a bit of an experiment. I don't have the equipment to do that. And the reason is that I don't want to be a jack of all trades. This is why we don't do house removals as well. We just do junk removal. I want to be a master of one. There's no point spreading myself out too thin. It caused me a lot of stress, if I'm honest. And when I was trialing people out, taking on workers, you know, there's been a couple of times where I left them on gardens to do them, and their work was just terrible. And I couldn't, you know, the reputation I have built is important to me, and that's what I work so hard for. And to have somebody let that down, I couldn't live with that. Which is why we're such a small company, and we will never grow. Now we will never grow. So I had to let him down, and he was gutted. And he sort of said, "Is there anybody that you know that you can recommend?" And there's nobody that I knew off the top of my head that I could recommend, and certainly nobody that I would feel safe recommending and putting my name to, you know, and saying, this guy can, you know, I need to know somebody's work, and if it's up to my standards are high, ridiculously high, and I punish myself to get the job done to those standards a lot of the time. I can't just throw names out there, you know. If I can't do a job, and I can't just recommend any old Tom, Dick and Harry. There was one guy that I knew that was local to him, that he did gardens, and then he started to delve into junk removal on the side. This is how I know of him. And I said, look, I sort of know of this guy, but I don't know what his work's like. I know he started to come into my industry a little bit, but I know he was predominantly gardens to start with. Maybe try him, but I can't recommend him. And this guy turned around and said, I've used him before and he's terrible. And that just says it all, doesn't it? You know, but why? And another thing this guy brought up as well, and I don't get this, is when people, he said, we've had that many people arrange to come out and they've not come out, they've not turned up. And I have this with junk removal. You know, we're not the cheapest around, we're not. And sometimes we're out of people's budgets. It's as simple as that, and that's okay. You know, people have their budgets. It's an expensive thing, junk removal. So they will shop around, and that's okay, and they'll get a cheap equipment. That's okay, and they will book that company in, and that's okay. You know, you've got to do what you've got to do. You've got a budget. You've got to try and get what you can. But the amount of times that people phone me back up and they're like, look, we went with somebody else, and because they were cheaper, and they're honest about it, you know, and because they were cheaper, it's what we could afford, and they never turned up. How do you put work in and not turn up? I mean, there's days that we can't get to jobs. It happens, it's inevitable. Things go wrong, we just run out of hours in the day, we sometimes take too much on ourselves. We're human. But we let people know, and we get them back in as soon as we can, and we make it right. Problems happen. That's the solution that you've got to find afterwards. That's the important thing. But yeah, people don't turn up, or they turn up and they do half a job and then leave, or they don't do the full job properly. You know, and I suppose when you do use us, you are paying a premium price, but you're guaranteed to have the job done properly. You're guaranteed to be absolutely over the moon with it. You know, I had a client yesterday, bless her, long-term follower of the page, big supporter of us, an amazing woman, and I cleared the garden out, and stuff accumulates. It does, it just happens, doesn't it? And she looked like she was going to cry when she came out to have a look at it, you know, and that hits me. That does, we do make a difference. So yeah, a bit of a ramble, but this is video number 2. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me see if I'm going the right way. I think I am. I'll figure it out. I look forward to doing more and getting better with this. I will start writing down some actual topics to talk about rather than just being off the cuff and rolling with it. But at the moment, I'm just giving it a go. Please like the video. So like down the bottom. Comments are more than welcome. Constructive criticism is more than welcome. Go easy. Yeah, I think this is going to go well. I think there might be something in it. If there's anything that you want to hear from, junk removal, how we started, how the page got so big, about us personally, who we are. Some of you guys noticed yesterday for the first time that I have a little accent going on. Yep, I'm from New Zealand originally, born and bred. I can talk about that, talk about my experience growing up in New Zealand and coming to the UK as a teenager, and whatever you want to hear. Leave me some comments below, give me some ideas, give me some feedback, and let's see where we go with this. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you all soon. Adios.